Hello and welcome to StudyIQ. Today we are going to talk about a news from Kerala. We are going to talk about a new kind of virus. I know we have been talking about the COVID-19 coronavirus for almost 1.5 years, but news has come that Kerala has reported 13 cases of norovirus. The government has said that people need to be cautious because it is very contagious virus. So in this lecture, we'll understand what is this norovirus, what happens because of this virus, what are the symptoms, is it treatable, and what are the preventive measures that are needed, and how Kerala is preparing to fight this norovirus. That would be covered in this lecture. To get all this information, stay with me on StudyIQ. I am your friend Rahul Saigaonkar. You can follow me on the ID @Rahul Sai 222. And if you're preparing for state PSCs, here is a list of state PSC programs that StudyIQ runs. We also have a Kerala PSC program. Do visit studyiq.com or download the app to know more about these programs and avail our services. As I mentioned, the news has come from Kerala. The 13 norovirus cases have been confirmed. Kerala Health Minister Veena George has asked people to be vigilant. The government, the Department of Health Services, has issued guidelines after norovirus cases were seen. Norovirus is a stomach bug which causes a range of symptoms, and this has been confirmed in the Wayanad district. Where has the outbreak happened? According to the Kerala Department of Health Services, 13 students from the veterinary college in Pokkod near Vitri in Wayanad district have been infected with this norovirus. The authorities have swooped in. The authorities have said that they are already preparing a data bank of all the students from the veterinary science college. In one of the hostels, 13 students were infected with this norovirus. And now a data bank is being prepared of these students. Again, an awareness class is also set up as part of preventive measures. For the past 1.5 years, we have been talking only about the COVID-19, but suddenly a norovirus has hit Kerala. Now the question arises, is this norovirus fatal? Is it a very serious case? See, in general, when we talk about viruses, the coronavirus and the influenza virus, they affect the lungs of people. But there are viruses which affect the gut or the gastrointestinal system. Rotavirus and the norovirus, they affect the gut. So it's a contagious virus which causes vomiting and diarrhea. And the biggest thing is that this norovirus, it is very, very contagious. It is highly communicable. It spreads from one person to another person. Now see, the symptom itself here includes vomiting and diarrhea. Now vomiting means a person is vomiting something and the virus is being spread outside. In case of diarrhea, especially, say we talk about infants, children getting this particular norovirus, and the diapers that are used, and if they are not disposed of properly, then the virus can spread immensely. Apart from that, it is also spread from contaminated food and water. If anybody touches the contaminated surfaces and then they touch their mouth, then the virus is entering your body. The question is this virus dangerous? The answer would be no. See, whenever you talk about food poisoning or some sort of a stomach flu, you can connect that with norovirus. Now, in general, a thumb rule, if in your family, if you're in Kerala, in your family, if multiple people are facing a problem of food poisoning, then that might be a probable case of norovirus. So be cautious. Norovirus causes symptoms like nausea, vomiting, mild fever, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. Although one needs to remember that for healthy adult people, it might not be very dangerous, but it might be fatal, or it might create complications, especially for young children, elderly people, and people with comorbidities. Now, with proper prevention and with decent treatment, the disease can be cured very, very quickly. So it is not very dangerous. And that is why the government has said that currently there is no cause of concern. Everyone but must be vigilant, because if this virus is not stopped, it is going to put a lot of pressure on the health infrastructure, which is already grappling through the issues of COVID-19. That is why prevention is the best cure. How can we prevent it? See, when you talk about norovirus, it spreads from one place to another place. It is highly communicable. So wash your hands often. Rinse fruits and vegetables. It enters through food. Cooking seafood thoroughly, completely cooked food is always better, and avoiding stale food. Now, in general, there are many trends and outbreaks of this norovirus. Norovirus outbreaks are very common. especially in United States of America. Every winter, there are many norovirus outbreaks. The virus infects one person to another person, and it also passes through the contaminated foods and surfaces. But it is very common. The outbreaks are very common of the norovirus. It can happen any time of the year, but in general, it is very frequent from November to April. And that is why it is also called as winter vomiting bug or winter vomiting virus. Now, 13 cases have been detected in Kerala, and the Kerala Department of Health Services have swooped in. They have also brought some guidelines. So these guidelines are very important for you if norovirus is prevalent there. The first thing is that, is this norovirus treatable? You don't need treatment per se. See, norovirus, any antiviral drug may work, but antibiotics would not work on it. But this norovirus goes off automatically. If in a healthy adult person, within 1 to 3 days, the norovirus ends. What do you need? You simply need prevention. If you're already contracted with norovirus, just rest at home and keep yourself hydrated, because it causes vomiting, it causes diarrhea, so a lot of fluids are lost. So drink lots of fluids, drink ORS, and continuously consume lukewarm water or boiled water itself. Apart from that, people should wash their hands thoroughly with soap and water. That's the guideline by the Kerala government. They must wash their hands thoroughly after using toilet. Those who interact with animals, those who have pets, they need to pay special attention. Apart from that, drinking water sources like the wells, storage tanks, etc., they need to be cleaned. They need to be bleached using the bleaching powder. People have to clean their fruits and vegetables thoroughly before eating. And seafood like sea fish, shellfish like crabs, mussels, they must be eaten which are thoroughly cooked. And please avoid stale and exposed food. By following these guidelines, we can easily prevent norovirus. And please remember, there is no need to panic here. Yes, it is contagious, but it is very easily treatable. The only people who would be at danger would be children, young children and elderly people and people with comorbidities. They have to be very, very careful. If you're contracted, do not get out of your home. Just rest at home and keep yourself hydrated. This norovirus will end automatically. That is it in this part of lecture. As and when the developments come over norovirus, we'll again talk about it on StudyIQ. But as of now, that is it. Thank you for watching. Jai Hind.